Hi guys, I'm Deeksha and I'm back with another review. This is the new LeEco LE2 and it's the first smartphone from the brand to ditch a 3.5mm audio jack and instead it uses a Type-C port for audio. Let's see if that is the only thing that's interesting about the phone or if there's more to it. All the specifications will be listed in the description box below or we'll keep putting them here. So let's just start talking about the phone, and now that I have mentioned a Type-C audio port, let's start with that. Now the technology is called CDLA, which stands for Continual Digital Lossless Audio. What happens when you put in a 3.5mm jack in your phone is that songs which are digitally encoded get converted into analog signals, and that's how you listen to them, and that is when during the conversion the loss occurs. What CDLA does is it transmits pure digital audio, and that is how there is no loss, at least in theory. Now these Type-C earphones are currently being bundled with the smartphone as an introductory offer, but we do not know how long the offer will last. So if you have to buy them separately, they cost Rs 2,000, which is pretty expensive. Coming to the sound quality, the sound output of these earphones is actually pretty loud and clear. However, at really high volumes, you might experience slight distortion. They work really well with highly panned songs. However, the wearability of these earphones is not good. I couldn't go for more than 30 minutes in one go. They really hurt. Apart from that, the liberty a 3.5mm jack gives you is unmatched because there are not many Type-C smartphones out there. So you can't just go around use these earphones in any smartphone, right? So basically the CDLA technology is nice. However, it has a long way to go and the company needs to work a little bit more on it. Let's talk about the usual stuff now. The LE2's display is bright and the screen is not very reflective, so using it under different sorts of lighting is not an issue at all. The display is sharp as well and the colors look vibrant. It's a good display overall, but if you tap on the screen or press it, do you hear that sound? That's the sound of flimsiness. And that's not something I felt about the display. It's actually the overall build quality of the phone. It does not feel very premium despite the fact that it's a full metal body smartphone. The design language is average as well. It's slightly different from the iPhone-like design that's all over the place these days, but it's not really something out of the box. The phone feels a little heavy in the hands. It's also thick, but you will be able to use it with one hand. The port placement is pretty much standard, and there's nothing special about the design of the LE2. Processing was more or less a breeze on this phone, and by that I mean it was smooth, it was not lightning fast. However, regular usage on the LE2 will be hassle-free for most part. I even played heavy games like Mortal Kombat 5 and Asphalt 8 on the phone, and the overall experience was pretty stutter-free apart from the slightly long loading time. It was so stutter-free that I actually forgot to look for stutters. The graphics rendering was good too, however the phone heats up a little bit after long gaming sessions or while you're charging it, but that happens with pretty much all the phones. The software is not at all stock. I'm not personally a fan of EUI. The software does not offer any crazy awesome features, and yet it needs some getting used to because of things like this. The quick settings and the toggles are accessed from the recent app screen, which is called the Control Center. Does not gesture support as well, which is a little disappointing. In terms of extras, all you get is LeEco's LeView and Live app, which are company's content streaming services. Now, it will take a long time for people to actually completely rely on these content streaming services for everything they want to watch. I mean, for most part, I used YouTube, Hotstar and torrents for everything I wanted to watch. In terms of preloaded apps, you do not get a lot, which is a plus. All you get is My LeEco and LeVD applications apart from the usual Google suite. In terms of storage, you get 32GB of built-in storage, which is not expandable, and that's a huge disappointment. Let me quickly tell you about the fingerprint scanner on the phone. It takes negligible time to set up, only lets you unlock the phone and take pictures. It never misses on recognizing your fingerprints, which is a great plus, but it's a little slow. You can actually see the difference in when you pressed the fingerprint scanner when the screen woke up and when it actually got unlocked. Cameras now. The default camera app on the LE2 is not special. You get the usual shooting modes, control over the ISO, white balance and stuff like that. It's a regular camera app, just the layout is a little tweaked. The primary camera focuses really quickly and the shutter speed is pretty impressive. However, the overall image quality of the pictures I took was just average. They looked sharp on the phone screen, but when I viewed them in their full size, they pixelated a lot. The phone camera does not capture depth in close-up images, which is a little disappointing. However, the color reproduction was pretty accurate compared to other phones. The LE2 performs better in low light photography and night photography. The front camera clicks good selfies in both daylight and artificial light. So overall, it's a good camera, but there are better performing ones available for a similar price. Lastly, the battery, which is good on paper but not in real life. While it lasted for about 10 hours on our battery test, which is a good result, not great but good, the battery drains like anything. During the night time when I was sleeping and not using my phone for about 8 hours, the battery drained by 29%. Charging the phone fully and using it like I normally would gave me about 6 to 7 hours of usage, which is disappointing. Time for the verdict. Let's see what you get here. A good display, good performance, and that is it, because everything else is just decent, something you can work with, not the best in the segment. If you go slightly higher, you have the Lenovo Z1, which is a complete all-rounder, great performance, great battery backup, great cameras. Battery backup is an issue with this phone, right? You have a lot of phones with 4000 mAh batteries in this price segment, one of which is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. As a matter of fact, the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3 delivers better camera performance than the LE2. What's special about the LE2 is the CDLA technology, or what we talked about earlier, but it's not great enough for you to buy this phone just for that reason. The LE2 would have been the talk of the town had the battery backup been good and the camera slightly better, and we hope these issues will be solved via software updates in the future. However, for now, I will recommend the smartphone only if you want smooth performance from your phone and nothing else.